The Atlas Post. President Trump signed a new eviction order, and what's the truth about the eviction moratorium? And are you protected? The House and Senate have been in a stalemate, and now they're both on recess, returning in September after Labor Day. The House isn't expected to return until September 14th, and the Senate just excused themselves because, well, they need the House to make an agreement. Trump signed the new eviction order as the previous eviction moratorium and federal unemployment, and also the Small Business Administration's PPP, or Payment Protection Program, have all expired, leaving Americans in flux and wondering how they're supposed to plan. And that's why Trump signed an executive order, so it would give us some stability, but it's not quite creating what you think it may create. At risk for eviction are 43 million Americans. The great part is we've also done a video before, earlier this month on August 4th, regarding rent, mortgage, and lease, legal aid assistance, and resources to help prevent you with evictions and foreclosures. We're going to attach a link to it so you can go ahead and watch it because it gives you a lot of very important resources. Although Trump signed this, the executive order saying it would stop evictions, what it does stop is all the federally financed single families and multifamilies will be covered as they have been. This does not include privately financed, and the question is, how do you know if it's federally financed or not? We'll go back to the other video we've already done, and you can find out all the details, where you can put the information in, the address, and they will actually let you know whether it's federally financed or not. And while it has the illusion, this is Pelosi saying, while it has the illusion of saying we're going to have a moratorium on evictions, it says, I'm going to ask the folks in charge to study if that's feasible, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said during an interview on Fox News Sunday. And here's the greatest challenge, is that many Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. So all of this with the, well, coronavirus pandemic, not being able to go to work, and even though we have some unemployment, well, even with the signed executive order, they have to catch up to it. They said it would take 1 to 2 weeks, so we're crossing our fingers for many of you out there. Now, there's also a caveat on there. It's like you have to earn at least $100 to go ahead and have the federal on that too. So there are some, let's just say, there's some little gray areas that some people could be affected. I hope you don't fall through the cracks. About 34% of renters, or roughly 23.7 million Americans, have little or no confidence that they'll be able to pay their August rent. Now, it's already August. I don't know what's going to happen to September. And a separate study by Apartment List, an online rental platform, found that at least 32% of households still owed money at the beginning of August for rent or mortgage payments from previous months, and more than 20% owe more than $1,000. So missed house payments are starting to add up. Missed rent payments are starting to add up, and it says, for the fourth straight month, we found that roughly 1 in 3 Americans failed to make their full rent or mortgage payment in the first week of the month. That's pretty scary. So let's hope that when Congress gets back after Labor Day, that they will get to work on this. Let's get back to the eviction order and see exactly what's going on. This is a story from CNET, and they say that at issue is the fact that Trump's order doesn't actually stop evictions today, or excerpts from the text below, and it isn't clear exactly when or in what form an eviction moratorium would take place. So the previous eviction protections were guaranteed by the CARES Act, which expired July 31st. So when they held their conference, they said they would put a stop to evictions, but didn't specify how. In addition to lapsed housing protection, 3 out of 10 laid-off Americans also face food insecurity. Without the certainty of a stimulus package or more fleshed-out directives from the White House, there's concern that the situation could worsen. So here's what CNET knows. No, the eviction moratorium was not extended over the weekend. The word is legalese, but it's also not clear, and it starts out strong. The CARES Act imposed a moratorium on evictions of certain renters, subject to certain conditions. That moratorium has now expired, and there is significant risk that this will set an abnormally large wave of evictions. It then changes course, emphasis ours, to say the Secretary of Services and the Director of CDC shall consider whether any measures temporarily halting residential evictions of any tenants for failure to pay rent are reasonably necessary to prevent the further spread of COVID-19 from one state or possession into any other state or possession. And many of you already know that even though there was an eviction moratorium, that people were still getting evicted, that rent was going up on people and they were being forced out, even with the eviction moratorium. So the order stipulates 4 steps of government action, none of which would stop evictions immediately. One is to investigate whether it was necessary to stop evictions as a way to help keep the coronavirus from spreading, presumably from people crossing state lines looking for new housing, sharing housing with others, or moving into shelters. Number 2, identify ways to give renters and landlords financial assistance. Number 3, engaging and providing assistance to various organizations or individuals to help guard against evictions and foreclosures, though it isn't clear this includes financial help. And 4, reviewing existing authorities and resources, which could include government programs. So in here, it says that it gives the Secretary of the Treasury and the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development the green light to explore ways to fund financial assistance to tenants who are behind on rent, but it stops short of setting up such a fund or banning evictions. In other words, without further action from the Trump administration or Congress, nothing has really changed yet. What happens now that eviction protections are over? Eviction protections or eviction notices are now legally allowed to proceed, and evictions can begin starting August 24th. Some landlords have already reportedly filed for evictions in violation of the law even before the protection ended. Some states have extended eviction protections for some renters, though coverage may be uneven. And for extended until September, so this part varies based on where you live. And like I said, the landlord can choose to follow it or not follow it. I know even, what was it? We've done this before, the story back in, what was it, May? People were already getting served whether they were supposed to or not, even though there was an eviction moratorium. So if you live in a property covered by the CARES Act, landlords can now legally ask you to leave and start charging late fees. But the soonest they can legally file an eviction to force you to leave is August 24th. And as long as Congress passes an extension or renewal of the eviction ban before August 24th, tenants who are behind on rent should continue to be fairly able to remain in their houses. So since Congress is essentially on recess, good luck on that, because I don't think they're coming back to go ahead and make that decision. Now, granted, maybe the judges don't want to make any decisions like that, and they're back, or whatever, they're behind because the courthouses have been closed. So as of July 31st, every benefit provided by the CARES Act now has ended, including the eviction moratorium. So that means that tenants who can't pay rent can be legally made to leave their rental properties. And Congress has, well, let's just say Congress has been at a stalemate, and now they're on recess. And, well, I don't know. It's a second stimulus check, but there's hope that talks may resume this week. Okay, good luck. The Senate already said they were leaving. So whether Congress makes a decision or not, there is stalemate or not, you still have to pay your rent. And rent was due on August 1st and will be again due on September 1st, and with no federal unemployment enhancement or rent protections in place. I know for some of you, if you are on unemployment, the change from a $600 federal unemployment in addition to your state unemployment was a big boost. And since that's gone away and they're behind, so you're going to have kind of a whole catch up, and it's not going to be $600. It might be, well, they said $400, but it depends on your state, so it might actually be $300. Now that's only if you had at least $100 for your state unemployment. So I'm sorry guys, but you could have basically whatever your state unemployment is plus an extra $300 to $400. Which is far less than the $600 a week plus your state unemployment that you were previously getting. Here's an important part, which is to find out the status of eviction protection in your state. Like I said, please refer to the video that's attached because we do have a lot of information as well as legal assistance that can help you on that. In addition, Nolo.com is great for the legal site, and there are actually some places that can help you with legal protections. Oh, you know what? I'll give you a link. Actually, yeah, I'll give you a link for that. So that will be very helpful, because there are places that can help you on this, as well as you can contact your for 211 or 311. They are in your local area. This goes to the local people and help you with security, rent. I know even the Small Business Administration on their website had some information regarding rental assistance, yes, and mortgage assistance. Oh, here it also says legal aid. If you're seriously delinquent or know you will be soon, you may want to consult a lawyer to better understand it. Legal aid provides attorney's fees free of charge to qualified clients who need help with civil matters such as evictions. Here they go, 211. Yes, I mentioned that. Here's a new one, share.org. And the online legal services chatbot at Do Not Pay recently added a coronavirus financial relief location. The online legal services chatbot at Do Not Pay recently added a coronavirus financial relief tool that the company says identify which of the laws, ordinances, and measures covering rent and evictions apply to you based on your location. Excellent. That is great. You can also, of course, ask your landlord for a reduction of rent or extension. I know some of my friends, they've had a lot of people move out of their building, and their landlord is just happy that they are still there and willing to work with them. Wow, there is so much to cover when it comes to evictions and moratoriums. We will bring you new information just as soon as we have it, but the video that we did previously was really pretty detailed, and I know I've been mentioning this over and over, but go ahead and take a look at it. The link is in the description, and we'll also tag the video at the end of this so you can go ahead and watch it. And thanks for joining us at the Atlas Post with a friend or someone it can help. And if you find this helpful, please like our video, make comments, check out our playlist, and subscribe for the latest updates. Thanks for supporting our channel on Patreon, as well as Buy Me a Coffee, because, look, we are doing this for you guys. We do not have hundreds and thousands and millions of followers, so basically, we are making no money at this, but we're doing this for you guys. So if you can, come support our channel. That would be awesome. So tap into your news with the Atlas Post, and have a joyful day.